tears. What's been the reaction to your comments the other day?
A lot of support, obviously. I think speaking for a lot of guys, obviously I was frustrated, emotional, but there's a lot of people that feel that way, and hopefully going forward we see some, change for the better for the game. You know what I'm saying? It's really just about the betterment of the game, and it was a little emotional, like I said, a tough loss and things not going our way, so got caught up in the moment a little bit, but you live and you learn, you move on.
Would you change anything about how you said it or what you said or even saying it?
I mean, it's hard to go back, it's whatever, it is what it is. It came out authentic, it came out, in real time. I wouldn't have done that if I felt like I had another option or outlet. I felt like I've exhausted my options, this season, many different occasions, and it was just one of those things. I'm human, and you'll see me make mistakes in real time and make things that, is not always perfect, a little unprofessional from my standard. So, it's unfortunate, but it happened. You got to live and learn.
Concerns about repercussions the other way, that you thought you guys might have targets on your back now?
I mean,
ran last night. Is that a possibility?
No comment.
When you say you adjusted your options, what other things have you done to kind of try and bridge that gap?
First is the direct communication, right? So obviously what was really, one tech in, it's only so much more that conversation is going to go. And I get it. I'm not the easiest guy to deal with on the court at all times. It takes a lot of passion and energy and fire for me at a guy at my size to even be on the court competing at a high level. So, maybe doesn't come across the best at all times. So I get that. But I certainly wasn't trying to get thrown out, again, in a game that we needed. So it just built up and we lost. And, it was tough. So, it is what it is. An unfortunate situation. But, again, it's, I'm human.
Do you think that there's maybe a need to explore other ways that you can provide feedback to players so that you don't feel like you're pushed to speak on it?
Yeah, I think there's probably some conversations going around, within the league and the officials. Look, they're doing their best. I'm not accusing anybody of not trying. You know what I mean? I know that the refs are trying their best, and they have their own jurisdiction and their own feel to the game and how they want to call things. And we're going to disagree at times. So again, I think there's healthier ways to do it than what transpired last night. I take full accountability for my actions and what I said and what I did. But again, I think it's a learning lesson for everybody.
Are there ways, when it's with a single referee, as it is in certain cases, are there ways, in between games, to reach out and have that conversation?
I'm not sure, Eric. I really don't know. I've never tried. It's never, it's happened. Again, I have tremendous respect and a great relationship with a lot of officials in this league. A lot of guys that's been around for a long time that's done it at a high level, and I have great relationships with certain guys. So it's a little out of the ordinary for me to be in this situation because I try to do my best to keep those relationships, but it hasn't, worked out for everybody. And this year in particular has been, harder and harder to fake it for me. So I've boiled over a couple times.
Does that have something to do with how the season's going in general, or is it isolated, do you think?
I'm sure it doesn't help. I'm sure it doesn't help. So again, I think our margin is small this year, and you can, sometimes you gotta be able to overcome it. You gotta find ways to win. But I don't want this to become a distraction any more than it already has. We got our own business to worry about. We gotta play better, and I gotta play better. And I'm always gonna take responsibility for that. But it is what it is at this point.
Sort of a bigger picture question. I know you're probably in the gyms at times with your nephews and things like that. And, at lower levels, people, the way they're treating officials can be a real problem.
Yeah.
At your level, they're getting paid, it's their careers, everything. There's a big distinction there.
Right.
Just curious as to your thoughts on maybe drawing that distinction.
Yeah, just in general, I would like to think that the NBA, is more so about the players and the fans, and there's the old saying of college is a coach's game and high school is an official's game, and the NBA is a player's game. So, again, there's levels to it, and last night was not the best display of being a role model on my end for sure. I don't want this to become a thing, and I got tremendous respect for officials and what they do, and they are a part of our game. But in what capacity and the way that the power dynamic has changed, and just the tone and the relationship between the players and the refs has changed drastically this year, and it's just something that we gotta keep an eye on.
Any insight? Why?
Well, I think they gave them more leeway, on the officiating and the sportsmanship and unsportsmanlike conduct and things like that, where they have more jurisdiction to call techs for smaller things, clapping at the official, throwing the ball off the stanchion, certain things that they were trying to clean up. But again, you got to have a feel and a dynamic, and each guy is going to be different. And I've been on the wrong side of this one a couple times, so I got to be able to adjust and not let my emotions get the best of me. But it happened.
And Stephen A., I watched him this morning, made a really interesting comment, just like if the league, you want guys to really care, like playing minute by minute, when they emote.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fine line. Yeah, it's a fine line. I know the league's got to do their job and grow the business the way they want to, and they have a vision for where they see the game going, and the officials are kind of in the middle of that, and they got to try to do their best, but still abide by the guidelines that they have. Again, I would like a little more leeway to be emotional and say certain comments and have a reaction, because if again, I'm very passionate, and part of the reason why I said what I said is because I don't necessarily care about the money in this instance. Like, I really care about winning and performing, and like I'm leaving it all out there on the floor, and it's frustrating at times, but we'll move on, and hopefully find a way to get past it. But it happened, and you gotta learn from it.
Thanks, everybody.
I'm sorry. Pascal's inching ever closer here to the you guys to get hurt. All right, go ahead.
Fred's a very passionate person. Takes a lot, would you say, for him to kind of get to that point, and kind of your thoughts on what he had to say last night?
Well, I think he certainly was speaking from the heart, right? I think that you guys would probably agree with most of what he said. That's my thoughts on it.
You've been around this for a long time. What's the secret, or what's the best way to communicate with officials without, without it ends up being where it gets to sometimes?
Well, as you know, there isn't really any. You're talking about different guys every night, different personalities, lots of emotion, different sets of circumstances. There's so many variables, right? It's not a canned answer, that's for sure.
In real time, you can kind of be that point or liaison between opinions on officiating, but is there any ways that maybe players can somehow feel empowered to provide feedback that might not cost them after games?
I don't think so, no.
Do you manage games differently?
What?
You manage games differently depending on what crews out there and guys you know, or guys you might have a long relationship with, or new guys you've never seen?
Listen, again, I think it varies so much, Doug, night to night. I mean, there's guys out there that I've known for a long, long time. There's guys that I haven't known at all, and one night it could be one way with them, and a week later it could be the other end of the spectrum. So it's like there's so many variables that there's just no real answers to put your finger on. Well, what should you do? Well, what you should do in the big picture of things is you got to figure out how to overcome whatever's happening. Whether it's shots not going in, whistles, loose balls not going your way, rebounds not going your way, you got to try to figure out how to play through whatever it is that you think is something you need to play through.
You've got the issue in Denver, and then Fred calling out by name another official. I mean, do you concern a little bit that it could backfire, roll up on you?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't really have that concern. I don't want to really get into that kind of mindset. I think that, yeah, would we like a little better whistle some nights? Of course we would. I think most teams would, but I think we certainly would. But like I said before, we gotta, you know, when we're playing well and we're in a chance to win games and all those kind of things, we gotta play even better. Even if it means we gotta play perfect, we gotta strive to do that.
Do you think because of the way you guys play, especially defensively with the aggressiveness, it puts you in a position to disagree more often?
Well, I don't know. Are we one of the highest foul committing teams in the league? I mean, listen, we just want a chance to guard, right? I don't see anything we did last night that was, I mean, we're not committing flagrant fouls. We're not knocking people down, flying through the air. We're just trying to get out there and guard you within the rules. That's it.
You touched on it a little bit before the game, but so much of this is contextual. Like I look at the score, the box score. Basically, you know, you guys were whistled for 23 fouls. They were whistled for 18. I mean, you know, their fouls ended up being shooting. They were bonus or on the line more, but it's 5 fouls. So what am I missing? That you know, I should understand that.
Well, I don't really know. I mean, I know that probably that gap closed a lot at the end. Right? I think there was a big disparity. Like it was pretty much double the whole game. 11-4, 14-7, 20-10, like, but the free throws again, it's like, you know, they're gathering and we're not. Chris is dunking it in and he gets bumped before he's got the, you know, those some of those could be shooting fouls. I think that we're not, but that might be some of the stuff you're missing.
Is it, and not to say you have to waste time doing it, but sort of establishing that context in which your style of defense goes at the start of the game, is that kind of a strategy in terms of making sure that it doesn't catch up with you late, do you think?
I don't think so. Listen, we're trying to play hard, right? We're just trying to play hard. We're trying to guard ball pressure and things like that. I mean, not a ton of teams try to play us consistently hard on the ball as we do. Maybe it's something they don't see as much. But again, I think like I would rather this. You guys have heard me say this before. I don't mind fouling. I just want to foul when it's appropriate. Like I want those fouls to be consequences at the rim, not 94-foot hand checks, 90-foot hand checks, over the back fouls when you don't have a chance to get a rebound, moving screens, you know, those kind of things. We believe in fouling, but the right kind of fouls.
Any thoughts on LA? Lakers, I should say.
It's a lovely city.